Good afternoon, everybody. It's still January 1st, and this is the second video I'm going to do. And I was deciding what to talk about, and Metatron came to me and said he has a message for the world. So I'm going to do a journey and allow Metatron speak to the world, speak to all of you. Just going to relax and go right into the journey to see what he has to say to everyone. He has a ball of energy in his hand, and he's taking it and spinning it around like this. And it's a bright, intense energy that's been creating a vortex. He takes that energy, he makes it into a sphere with vortexes all around it that merge into the center. You really don't know what the center looks like, but you do know, or you think you know, that they connect somehow. That's the thing. You never really know for sure if they connect, but our minds perceive that they must. Sometimes our minds perceive things in the way we think they are, but in reality, they might never touch at all. They could just slightly be offset from one another. Never be able to see the center because the vortexes are wide at the top and skinny at the bottom. So there's no way of seeing it unless we actually followed it down and went into the center of the orb. So our perception of things is different, isn't it? Our perception of everything is slightly different. So who is right and who is wrong? He takes the orb and he throws it in the air and it bursts into a bunch of flowers. I grab one of them and they are roses with thorns, and they cut my finger. And he says, just because it is a flower doesn't mean it cannot cut you. That's what roses remind us. It is a beautiful flower, but it also can sting. And that's what life is really like, isn't it? It's a beautiful flower that stings, can be sweet to the smell. It can cut deep, but can open up to be something absolutely beautiful. And then it dies. It's the cycle of life. So what part of life is the most important? The love, the beauty, or the pain and the suffering? Would life be complete without one or the other? Because we suffer, we need time of peace. Or we can suffer our whole lives and then have a lifetime afterwards of peace. But there has to be a balance, some type of balance. Otherwise we fall, never finding our way back. Balance is the key to everything, he says. It's the key to understanding the universe. You wouldn't have galaxies if the black holes didn't create the gravity to pull everything into balance. It creates life. It transforms the old into the new. Without the death of a star, there would not be another one that would be born. Because death, there is life. Nothing ever truly dies, does it? We are born into the world, bright-eyed, hopeful. Then the world takes over. We are challenged our whole lives, and then we die. Then what happens? Nothing. Then what would be the purpose of everything? The world itself. If everyone believed that there was nothing after you die, then why would we be good? Why would we try? But I guess some people do believe that, don't they? They do believe that we can come here and do whatever we want because there is nothing after death. So we will do whatever we can. We will hurt as many people as possible. We will do whatever we can to be remembered in this world, no matter how many people suffer in the process. No matter how many people suffer. He waves that images away because we know that it is not the truth. That life is for everlasting, continuously ever changing, molding into something new, something interesting and beautiful. And sometimes not so beautiful, dark, twisted. But then when you take the two and blend them together, they do create something beautiful, something strong, something powerful. Take to create human beings with a capability that supersedes the understanding. They create spirits of strength beyond what normally was possible. They create powerful spirits that have a better understanding of the universe. So the universe has a better understanding of itself. So balance is the key. If I have light, I have darkness. If I have darkness, I have light. If I was just one or the other, I would only be half of a whole. But together is where true strength comes from, true knowledge, true wisdom, true understanding. The more you challenge yourself, the more the universe grows. The more you challenge yourself, the more wiser you become. The more stronger you become. So if you think you can go through life without being in balance, without trying to bring balance to the world, then you are not truly seeing the purpose that you've come here to do. We come here to always try to keep things in balance. So sometimes a lifetime of chaos has to balance itself out with a lifetime of love. But most of the time, there is a balance of love and chaos in a one lifetime, so that we may stay balanced throughout that lifetime. So when we become unbalanced, we have to balance it out with a lifetime that will balance out what it is. So if we have an imbalance of light, we have to have a lifetime of darkness. If we have an imbalance of darkness, we have to have a balance of light. It can all happen many, many, many times in one lifetime. But the lifetimes we truly fear and dread are the ones of darkness, the ones where we never have the light. But then we have lifetimes of light, and usually it takes multiple lifetimes of love and light to heal from the dark lifetime of one darkness lifetime. It can take many lifetimes of light to heal. But when it is complete and things are brought back into balance again, is when the true understanding and wisdom comes. So what do you do with a person in this lifetime that you know is at a balance? You can offer them guidance, offer them strength, offer them wisdom, offer them support, offer them love. But what happens when a person chooses not to listen? What happens when a person chooses to not care? What do you do with that person? Do you give up on them? Or do you continue to try? What do you do? What will you do when you come across that person in your life? You try to help them, but you also have to know when not to help them, when to stop helping them, when to take a step back and say, I have done enough. It is in your hands. And if you choose not to listen, that is your choice, and I accept that choice. But that person now must accept what happens next. Acceptance. This is one of the most difficult things in a lifetime of being a human being. We love in so many different levels, so many different versions of love. We hate, it comes so easily. It comes too easily, and for most people. The ones that are in balance, when they feel the hatred coming on, they do not stay in it, they do not let it control them, they do not let it last. So what are you going to do with your lifetime? Are you going to be in balance? Are you going to not be? Are you going to be out of balance? Are you going to allow the chaos to take over and the love to take over? Never truly understanding both sides enough to truly understand that you need to balance both. You can't just be one without the other. That is not what being human is. The other thing is life. Living life. Or running from life. Hiding from life. Saying I do not belong here. Well, you're here. So do you belong here? Does a bird question whether or not it belongs on the earth? I am not a bird. How am I supposed to answer that question? That is probably most people's response. The question is, does a bird think about a worm's life? Or instinctually it just eats the worm? Doesn't really give it much thought about the life of the worm. But when we look at a worm, we wonder if it thinks, if it feels. Does it understand what it is and what its purpose is? Animals rely a lot on instinct, pre-programming, reaction. Human beings are a little different. It's not saying that the life of a worm is more important than the life of a human in the eyes of God. But we are different from a worm. We have more ways of understanding the things around us in the universe. So what do we do with everything? There's times where people say, high vibration, low vibration. What does that mean to you? Metatron says. If I raise my vibration, I'll always stay in love. If I lower my vibration, I'll be taken over by darkness and I'll never really truly be able to reach the light. It's hogwash, she says. Life is about experiencing both light and dark. Learning to love both, bringing them both into balance. You don't come to earth to keep your heads in the clouds or shove your head in the ground. You come here to bring everything back into balance so you can truly understand what it is to be alive and to understand what it is to be human. If you run from who you are, you run for the purpose of why you're here. If you raise your vibration as high as people think they can, they will disappear. You will no longer be on earth. Is that a true purpose of why you came? Many people think that they will ascend into another dimension. That is a purpose that they choose for themselves. Is it the truth? Do we come on earth to raise a vibration high enough so we will disappear from it? It's a good question. What happens if every single soul on earth brings himself into balance? Exactly. Everybody raises together. Everybody is at peace within themselves. So when we accomplish this, we can move on to the next thing, which is what exactly? Well, that would be giving away the surprise, wouldn't it? They'll be telling you too much information. The people that believe, and this is my message to all of you, I am Metatron, and I give you this message very strongly, very sternly. It is my message to you, that if you go through life thinking that you have to keep your vibration high enough, you're missing the point of why you're here. If you think being around people with low vibrations will bring you down to their level, so you'll never be able to reach a high vibration, then you're missing the point. You're missing the point of life, of balance, and understanding of both sides of things. When you do that, then we will all change together. It is not about raising your vibration one person at a time. It's about raising your vibrations by everybody, by bringing everybody back into balance. You have the capability of raising your vibration to very beautiful heights. But in order to do that, you must bring yourself into balance. Before you can go high, you must bring yourself into balance. So by being afraid of the darkness, you're missing the point. The point and understanding of what balance truly is. What it truly means to be in balance. Balance is a light and dark within all of us, and harmony, mutual respect and understanding. Thank you very much. And that was a message from Metatron to all of you. If you wish to do a service with me, you can visit my website at amonrosstheawakening.com. You can also check out my Northern Lights page at Joseph Bradley Auroras with an S.com. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a wonderful 2018. And I look forward to doing more videos. Take care. Have a great day.